Now imagine this, you've been crushing it in your sobriety, hitting 1 week, 1 month, maybe even longer. It feels like you finally kicked that bad habit for good. But then somewhere along the way, temptation starts to sneak in. All the urges and cravings you've been fighting back finally become too great. And so in a moment of forgetfulness or desperation, you slip. And before you know it, that one little slip spirals into an all-night binge of porn, junk food, and video games, you name it. You end up binging even more than you used to, going excessively hard on that bag of cookies or late into the night watching porn. Sound familiar? Well, you've just experienced something called the ironic rebound effect. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to avoid the rebound and break free from this vicious cycle of acting out once and for all. Hey friends, welcome back to the show. If you're new here, I'm Jeremy Lipkowitz, men's coach, meditation teacher, and founder of Unhooked Academy. On this channel, we dive deep into personal growth, mindfulness, and overcoming addictive behaviors so you can live your best, most fulfilling, and intentional life. Today, we're tackling a topic that hits home for a lot of us: how to avoid rebounding and binging after a relapse. In this video, I'll mostly be using the examples around porn, but this is equally valid for any other behaviors that you might be trying to stop. Think sugar, junk food, video games, drinking, dating apps, you name it. So let's dive in. All right, so here's the deal. When you try to quit a bad habit using sheer willpower, you might find some success initially, but over time, that suppression builds tension. And when you finally give in or slip up, it's like opening the floodgates. If you've been trying to avoid eating sugar and have a healthy diet, it might mean gorging yourself on an entire bag of cookies, a bag of chips, and 2 bacon cheeseburgers. If you're trying to break free from porn, it might mean an all-night porn marathon that keeps you up until the wee hours of the morning. If it's dating apps, maybe it's swiping for 2 or 3 hours straight and swiping right on matches that you really know you shouldn't be swiping on. All of these behaviors are known as the ironic rebound effect. When you try to stop some bad habit through willpower alone, and when you break, sometimes you will rebound even worse than when you started. Obviously, this presents a conundrum or a puzzle for those of us who want to break bad habits and cultivate healthy ones. How do we avoid unskillful behaviors without triggering this ironic rebound effect? In this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful tips to help you effectively navigate the rebound effect so that you don't ever spiral into a binge. The very first step in avoiding the rebound is in shifting your perspective about what you're doing in the first place. So rather than saying, I'm not allowed to do this behavior or I shouldn't do this, try reframing it to, I don't want to do this. Recognize that you're changing your behaviors because it will benefit you. This subtle shift gives you a sense of agency and control. It's not about restriction. It's about aligning your actions with your values and your long-term goals. This already will help release some of that pressure before it builds up. Step number 2 is something you can do before, during, or after a relapse, which is to use compassion, not criticism. Instead of beating yourself up for slipping, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that relapses are part of the process and just know that you are doing your best. When you respond with kindness instead of criticism, you reduce the emotional charge that leads to binging. The most common scenario of why a binge happens is that you have some small slip, you feel like shit about yourself, so you beat yourself up, and then in order to escape that feeling of shame, you act out again. So if you're struggling with this step, think of it like this. Would you scold or criticize a friend for making a small mistake, or would you support them in getting back on track? Step 3 is simply to recognize the rebound. When you feel the urge to binge after a slip up, pause and remind yourself, this is just the rebound effect talking. It's not going to lead me anywhere that I want to go. Simply recognizing the pattern helps you interrupt it before it spirals out of control. It can help you recognize that it's not actually you that wants that extra donut or to spend the next 4 hours watching porn. It's simply the rebound effect playing out. So just be aware and it will help you avoid the trap. Step 4 is to have a plan in place for when slips or relapses happen. This could include things like reaching out to a friend or to your support group, journaling about your thoughts or your feelings, or engaging in a healthy distraction like going out for a walk, going to the gym, or practicing mindfulness. Having a go-to strategy makes it easier to bounce back quickly. When you have a plan, it's that much easier to stop the slide before you go all the way down the mountain. Step 5, the final step here is to remember that the goal of recovery isn't to be perfect. It's to make steady progress and keep moving in the right direction over time. One of the biggest mistakes I see men making in recovery is they put all this effort into the recovery, and then the moment they have one slip, they think it's all over and all is lost. But just remember, shit happens and slips happen. Focus on progress, not perfection. When this is your orientation, you will be much better equipped to let a small slip be just that and nothing else. And remember, every slip is also an opportunity to learn more about your triggers and how to handle them better next time. So celebrate your wins and celebrate your slips, since they're giving you more data about how to avoid slips in the future. So there you have it, 5 strategies to help you avoid rebounding and binging after a relapse. Remember, the journey to breaking free from bad habits isn't a straight line, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond when you stumble. If you found this video helpful, you might want to check out this other video on what to do if you're starting your recovery journey from scratch today. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more content on personal growth and mindfulness. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.